here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel, throughout social media. We're going to get you out here well before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a look at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us, Chris Ruffolo. James Clark's with us. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Zawacky, Dana Lane, and Wayne Scott will be here with us as well. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Ruffolo, Mitch, Clark, Scott, Zawacky, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, baseball on the board tonight. A lot of day action, but about 6 in the primetime hour for you guys. We'll have baseball coverage. Also some college football for the weekend. Head into a big weekend of college football beginning tomorrow. Remember, it's Labor Day, so we'll have college football Thursday through the Monday. But let's get this show underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffolo. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Hope you're catching the morning shows during the week, 10:30 a.m. each time with Chris, of course, with Jay and Mitch. And, of course, Chris will let you know about his video series appearing over on Pick Dogs as well. It's baseball related. So we'll get Chris in ready to roll here with Chris with baseball this afternoon, evening. Chris, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Just I want to say enjoying the afternoon baseball, but unfortunately the Giants look like they're going to let me down here.
Yes.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's baseball. These days come and go, but hey, like you said, I'm glad we have football back to give us something else to talk about.
Yeah,
for the next few months.
Yep, we have football and everything starts to swarm in because we're about it. When football is in, then here comes NBA, here comes NHL, and it's coming here. I think 2 months away from NBA, less than 2 months now. But anyway, we go here with baseball here. Rangers involved in a race, Mets not. 6:40 Eastern. Rangers favored -159. We see that total of 9.
Yeah, Tony. You know this line's on the move. When I first originally said this pick in, the line I think was a lot more reasonable. But I'd still play it at this price. You know, the Texas Rangers, yeah, they've been struggling. They've been struggling big time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you had still given me the New York Mets, obviously, with Kodai Senga, the line would have been a lot different. I think the Mets were favored in that spot. Then, I would have had an easier time taking the Mets because Senga's been their best pitcher, especially at home, and he's been their ace. But now the Mets shift to Denny Reyes, who's really been struggling. He's in 2 starts this season against the Atlanta Braves. Again, they're the Atlanta Braves, so of course they've been crushing right-handed pitching. Gave up 5 runs in each of those 2 starts, so 10 runs over 5 2/3. And I just don't like the matchup here for Reyes against a Rangers team that started to find the bats again. And what they've had to do in this series to sort of get back on track is win ugly. And sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be effective, and that's what the Texas Rangers have been doing in this series. I think they've got a little bit of their mojo back, and they're going to have to get it back with some big matchups coming in the next couple weeks. Dane Dunning's been arguably one of the more consistent starters that the Rangers have had this season. Maybe not the most consistent, but he's been pretty good. This guy can usually give you 5-6 strong innings, then hand it over to the bullpen. For me, it's just the fact that the Mets are back to their old tricks, finding different creative ways to lose games, and I just want no part of them here. I'm going to take the Texas Rangers here to get the job done.
Texas Rangers here, -159, -150. That's kind of the price range. So do your shopping and get the best numbers on this game. Yeah, we've seen Dunning. Yeah, Dunning's one of the reasons why he started in the bullpen this year. If you go look at his home road splits over his career, before this season, they've been horrible. Right, great at home, horrible on the road, but he seems to be able to clean it up this year.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I kind of took notice of that with Dane Dunning, was that he got off to that strong start. I think he started the year with like 4 or 5 straight wins, like a sub-2 ERA, and he's sort of regressed to the mean in the sense that now he's 9-6 with a 3.39 ERA on the season. But like I said, he's just been a guy that can go out there, get you 5-6 innings, give you 3 runs or less, deliver a quality start. And for the Texas Rangers, I think that's all they could really ask for right now, just given how much this team has struggled over the last couple of weeks. So they just need to be put in a good spot where they can pick up an easy win here and there. And like I said, if you're a team like the Texas Rangers, you got to take advantage of the winnable spots when you have them, because I'll tell you, once we get into September, no one's a pushover, and you definitely need to be able to take advantage of those. So it's kind of why I'm sticking with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, looking at that, AL West is going to be tough, and of course, again, the Angels might be an interesting team with all those call-ups now. They waived a bunch of players to make room for these call-ups that are going to be coming in September. I think it's a good move because if these players aren't going to be part of your roster next year, why keep them? Let's see what these young guys can do against teams fighting for playoffs. So I think that's interesting to see how the Angels perform here in September in a spoiler roll. We have a Rangers here minus 152 here against the Mets. This one have a start time 6:40 Eastern time. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, we do have baseball on the board heading to a big football weekend. Chris showing great results over the last 30 days. What do you have going on over at the site?
Like I said, I had my afternoon action today. That was all I had, but still going to have plenty of action, so this is the time to hop on long term now that football's back in full swing. The 30-day is going to get you a bunch of weeks of college football and NFL, as well as the stretch one in MLB the year. Going to get you all the sports around $100 a month. So, like Tony said, before you know it, NBA and NHL are going to be back. It's a great time to hop on long term.
That's right, guys. Go long term here with Chris over at Pick Dodge. Remember that 1 month pass gets you all the baseball for 30 days, gets you near the end of the regular season. Of course, all the first 3-4 weeks here of football when you get that 1 month pass. Remember that promo code PICK at checkout. That's going to save you 15% off. All right, Chris, as always, great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch you in the mornings. You also produce a video series here on Pick Dogs with your home run props.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success with the home run props lately. Had a bunch of winning days with them the last week or so. So definitely make sure you check that out. Tomorrow's going to be interesting with only a 4-game baseball card, but we still find a way. So make sure that you have those notifications turned on so you can get notified when the video drops and get the best price when you put in those home run props.
That's right, guys. You got the best numbers, so make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications so when Chris drops that video, you get them right away before this market goes nuts, because they do. All right, Chris, have a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
Yes, Chris Ruffolo here on the drive through. Let's continue on here. Let's bring in Mitch. You'll catch him over at Pick Dodge. We're going to get some Saturday college football light card today, so you'll get this here on Wednesdays and Thursdays from us when we'll go in, we'll leapfrog into some other sports. We'll bring Mitch in right now. Mitch, what's happening?
Nothing much. How you doing, Tony?
Doing great. Getting ready for week 1 college football. Looking into some of these games. Trying to go do my little looks through all these previews. But tonight you're coming in with a Saturday night college football game between Texas Tech and Wyoming here. As we see Tech Red Raiders favor on the road 14. We see the total sitting about 51 right now. At the sharpest book in the world.
Yeah, this to me is one of the more interesting games of the day. I think with college football, you got to kind of really tread lightly. I learned that in the first weekend. I said it going into the first weekend. Then I picked 3 games and I get absolutely smoked. So I think this weekend I'm going to be a little bit more choosy, and I'm going to be more selective. And I think finding these easy ones like this one is really a big part of it. I don't think it gets much easier than this. Texas Tech has a great defense. They had a guy who was taken in the first round of the NFL draft, they're a pass rusher. They led the Big 12 in sacks last year. Wyoming's offense is, I was going to say dog shit, but I didn't want to say that on the show. But the thing is that they're really not very good at all. And the thing is the Wyoming defense is really good, too deep at every position in returning players. So they're not just returning 10 starters on defense, they're returning too deep 10, 11 players. So they are absolutely stacked on defense. Last year we saw Wyoming in a similar spot where they went to Illinois and played in that against the Fighting Illini. They lost in that game, did not show real well in that game, but we didn't know that Illinois was going to be really good at that point either. But the thing is that this Wyoming defense is for real. But the Texas Tech offense is good, but it's not how it was. The Big 12 is changing the way that they do things. It's no longer going to see a lot of aerial shows the way it used to be. We're going to see more pounding of the football. And I think against this Wyoming defense, I think we're going to see Texas Tech make some mistakes. I don't see the Wyoming offense doing much. I think this thing's going under the total, and I think what we're seeing is the early betting action has all been to the under. Heavy action to the under, and for good reason.
All right, there we go. We've seen heavy action. Yeah, with 52 down to 51. I'm seeing some 51 and a half, 50 and a halves up there starting to pop up. So we're seeing some live movement here.
I believe it opened at 54.
53 and a half, 54. Yep, that was the open. Of course, I got the Chris Open showing 53 and a half, but I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if 54 was the opener there. Here, yeah, Wyoming kind of a defensive team. Interesting spot here in this elevation as well in Wyoming.
Yeah, and like I said, Wyoming doesn't have any offense at all, but they've got 10 returning starters on defense and 10 returning second stringers on defense. So it's not just the first unit, it's the entire second unit returns as well for Wyoming on defense. But their offense, let's just say that Josh Allen is left the building. It's not going to happen.
No.
So I think that it's very possible that Wyoming is shut out in this game, because I think Texas Tech will be able to put some points on the board. And I do think that if Wyoming tries to pass, you're up against the Big 12 sack leaders from last season. Of course, they lost their best guy. He went to the NFL first-round draft choice. I believe it was top 10. But outside of that, still guys that can get after the passer, still a very good defense and underrated. Texas Tech 8-5 last year. We're not a bad team.
They beat Ole Miss, right, in that bowl game? They held them down they held them down under 30 points, I remember correctly.
They're a good team. I mean, they got a shot at winning the Big 12 this season. They have a legitimate shot to win it. But the problem is it's first game out of the gate, and you're playing on the road in Wyoming, and you're playing against a very, very tough defense. I don't think Wyoming's going to help out to the over here, and I think that's what a lot of people are thinking as well.
Yeah, because Peasley's the quarterback. He's from Utah State, played 1 year last year with Wyoming, saw 12 games. But only completing, again, if you're completing 52% of your passes in the Mountain West and averaging 5.7 yards per pass attempt, that's not very good. And I can't believe he's coming back as a starter.
Yeah, it's I think that with Wyoming, he just doesn't have any help at all either. So on the offensive line, I think they're going to have some holes as well. I just think that we're going to see like Wyoming last year against Illinois in that opening game. They struggled to put points on the board. Illinois was able to move the ball, I thought, better than I thought they would be able to against Wyoming. But at the same time, I think Texas Tech has the ability to turn the ball over here as well. I think Texas Tech probably wins and covers this game. I haven't really, I'm struggling to lay 14 points in an opener on the road. But at the same time, we have a Wyoming team that can't score points. No. So I don't think anyone's going to really. I think the Wyoming defense is good enough to slow down Texas Tech, especially if the game gets out of hand and they put the backups in.
Quarterback average about 6.5 rushing attempts a game. And again, I mean, this is a quarterback that's probably going to get pulled with ineffectiveness. But behind him, Savoda, Clemens, Anderson, May, these are not names I know. So they're very, very. There's no depth in this quarterback position of Peasley. Again, 53% completion percentage in 2020, 55%, then down to 52%. This is a quarterback's probably going to get pulled.
To be honest with you, if there was more than 3 baseball games tonight, this would not have been my pick on the show. But it's just, I mean, this one just jumped off the page at me. At that it just seems that 42 is more of a reasonable number here on the total. And I think the sharps agree. I think this it's like a lot of times people look at the sides, to see where the syndicate action, the sharp betting action, all the early action. But this one, this one's a total that they're just absolutely clobbering this thing.
Yeah, it's going to pretty much Wyoming is going to run the football. That's what they're going to do, and the quarterback can run the football.
Well, they're not going to do anything, Tony.
They're going to try. They're going to try. And also the quarterback here, 77.4 yards per pass attempt downfield. That was in his first shot. This is for Texas Tech. Numbers down from the past 2 seasons. So and he ran a little bit more. Of course, remember we got that rolling clock now in college football on first downs. They don't stop the clock. So that also factors into it as well. Under here, with Wyoming, Texas Tech, and this one to have a start time 7:30 Eastern time. All right, Mitch, let us know what's happening over at Pick Dogs Premium.
At the premium area, well, I dropped my $15 big play. The winning streak ended at 11. All 11 of my wins in my winning streak were all one-sided, crushing wins. Only 2 of the teams that I picked in the 11-game winning streak were favorites or were negative money. The most I laid in a game was -130. The second most I laid in a game was -110. And then today was a pick 'em at -110, and I lost with the Milwaukee Brewers. Ball bounces off the pitcher's leg. And I'll tell you what, the Brewers had their chances anyway, and the Cubs played well, and the ump was kind of all over the place and all those other things. But I'll tell you, if it went my way, I wouldn't be complaining about any of it. So I just want to thank everybody that supported me during the streak, and hopefully I can put together a new one, starting tomorrow with the light card.
That's right. Light card start tomorrow here. 4 games from Major League Baseball, and then we have those 4 from college football. Go back to college football, Mitch. A game that's intriguing here is this TCU and Colorado game. It's an early start, early kickoff. We've seen this one open 19 up to 20.5-point favorite, TCU favorite. We see this total about 63, 64.5. Big open. It's moved up here. Opener 59. We're seeing 64 in some places. Deion Sanders with Colorado.
Yeah, I think Colorado might be a little bit kind of overrated right now. I think there's a lot that has to do with chemistry, and I don't love this spot for them either. I think I know that they got our big guy that we had recruited, our defensive back, 160-pound corner. That I know he's great. But Cormani McLean, top 5 player in the country. He had signed with us, and then he flipped and went to Colorado after National Signing Day. So they got a lot of good players on this team. It'll be interesting to see if Deion can put it together. Obviously, a lot of pressure in Colorado on their way to the Big 12, which is actually, even with Oklahoma and Texas, is shaping up to be a nice little conference. I think one of the things about college football that we just have to remember is UCF, BYU, Houston, and Cincinnati all in the Big 12 now. And then in the AAC, we have some other ones as well, some other new teams like UTSA, Rice.
Yeah, a lot of movement there. And, of course, everybody will be watching tomorrow's big game, Mitch, Florida, Utah. We're still waiting on the quarterback issue there. Open 9.5 down to 4.5 right now, Utah favorite. And low total here, 44.
Yeah. I don't, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really done that game yet.
Yeah,
so I'm not
that's
really
a
at
tough
that
one.
I did Penn State, West Virginia, if you want to ask me about that one.
All right, tell us about that one, Mitch.
Well, Penn State, West Virginia is an interesting one because, as usual, Penn State is going to look, really mundane in those uniforms, but they've got a guy that runs about a 4.1 40. His name is Singleton. And he can fly like the absolute wind, and I don't think West Virginia is going to be able to lay a glove on him. I think the problem that West Virginia is going to have, and James Clark can go over this with you as well, but so West Virginia following the whole Big 12 thing where they're going to try and pound the football, keep the defense off the field, but if by any chance that defense has to stay on the field, they are DEAD dead because they have no chance, and I think Penn State is really going to, generally, I think they're really going to roll it up on them. I think they're really going to have a chance to break away some big plays on them and get them late, kind of like a boxer that's worn down their opponent. I think they're going to be able to do that to West Virginia and really get them late. And I'm not sure West Virginia is going to be able to have many answers on the other side of the football against Penn State. It's weird. Yeah. James Franklin, Penn State coaches in general, if you ever go to the sports books in Vegas, end up sitting next to a Penn State fan, they're always like, our coach is going to leave and whatever. It's like, but Franklin's back again, and, he's a great coach, and, that's how it works.
Yeah. James got a report on West Virginia. We just have to outscore everybody. We still can't tackle. So that's what's from James Clark. That doesn't work very well on the road, by the way. And they're 20.5-point dogs, the Mountaineers, in that one. All right, Mitch. Anything else happen as we're getting ready here for college football?
No, I'm just excited for college football, and as usual, it's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year, college football Saturday, and we'll have full coverage at Pick Dogs. We've got a college football show with Chris Ruffolo, Ron Romanelli, and myself. Starting next Wednesday, we have an NFL show, Big Al, Jay Briggs, and myself, and then Friday, we're crossing over, doing at, I believe it's 5 p.m. Eastern time, so this show might be preempted for a couple of minutes. I don't know how it's going along. Hopefully it moves right along. But we have a show starting at 5 p.m. Eastern time, which will be seen on our YouTube channel as well as on the Sauce Network. It's going to be me and Jay, the Sauce, Kyle Kerms, and the Prop Beaver, all on one show, broadcast across both channels. So I don't know. This is Kyle Kerms' deal. I'm in.
All right.
So, I think it's going to be fun. 3 young guys and me. I'm sure I'll get the leather helmet jokes and everything else, but
you got to come in with the one face guard on the helmet.
Yeah, the whole thing.
The Joe Theismann one face guard. That's it. All right, Mitch. Have a great week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right. Have a great day. Have a great week, everyone. And I'll see everyone tomorrow morning for the live show.
That's right, Shaq.
The live show really picking up, and I think we're really taking it to a whole new level with the new cast. So loving it. And, of course, we have a lot of other new things that we're talking about, and before you know it, I think everyone at Pick Dogs is going to have some sort of video segment going on the channel. So pretty exciting stuff.
Absolutely. All right, Mitch, have a great week. Catch up with you again next week. Mitch here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, we're going to go to James Clark. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring James in right now. We got him in the Skype world waiting for us. We'll bring him in right now. Let's go to James on Skype. James, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How you today, buddy?
Everything's going well. We see that WV there. Can they cover that 20.5? You can hold that answer until we get to the end of this segment. Diamondbacks and Dodgers here. The Dodgers are favored as expected, -158. The total is at 9.
You guys, you look at these two teams, and I'm pretty much, on the Dodgers, -1.5. You might think it's a square play, but, the Dodgers have been red hot in their last 28 games. They've won 24 of their last 28 games. And over those 24 wins, 22 of them have been by 2 or more runs. So it might be a square play, but I think it's the money play tonight, and I really like it. I think the Dodgers, it didn't matter who they put on the mound. Their batting lineup's been on fire from top to bottom. I look for the same thing. I look for the Dodgers to get the win tonight by 2 or more runs. So take them. A little plus money. I've seen 108, 110, plus 105.
Plus
Either way
122 now.
There you go.
There you
Plus
go.
122, even better. You're getting that, and you go look through the stats. So outside, they've won their last out of 24 games, they've won 22 of them by 2 or more runs. So I really like the Dodgers tonight. So take them on the run line and let's cash it, guys.
All right, James says go with the Dodgers run line here. They lay the 1.5 here against the Diamondbacks. Of course, we know the pitching matchups here. The Dodgers were able to get through to Gallen, right? They got to Gallen. They're going to try to, Kelly was somebody who's also their top 2 pitchers. I mean, this is really what it is. The Diamondbacks put out their best 2 starters out there. Merrill Kelly. They had Gallen, and the Dodgers pounded. And also, though, Brandon Pfaadt has been showing a little better of late in those last 2 starts.
Yeah, he has. But like I said, he's coming up against a Dodgers team that's red hot. That's done took out 2 of their top pitchers. They won last night 9-1. And, this Dodgers team has been red hot. A lot of people thought this was going to be a down year for the Dodgers. And like I said, they've reeled off 24 wins out of 28 games. They're red hot, and I think they keep it red hot and win this game by 2 or more runs.
All right, looking for another blowout victory here for the Dodgers. Still Pfaadt here for Pepiot. Remember, Pepiot is a pitcher who actually put up some pretty good numbers. He was bothered by an oblique injury coming out of spring training, and he's got some fine-tuning in the minors. Put in this spot, as you know, Gonsolin is having Tommy John surgery, so Pepiot is going to come in. You'll see a lot of him here in September. We'll see how he handles maybe postseason. Probably one of the bullpen guys as the Dodgers trying to figure out how they can work out their postseason rotation. Urias will be there. We'll see what happens to Buehler. Maybe a little later next month he'll come in. So the Dodgers have a lot of decisions to make here. But anyway, tonight's game, run line here, Dodgers. I'll lay the 1.5, plus 110 here against D-backs. And this one will have a start time here, 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, James, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, baseball on the board, 6 games here on the board from Major League Baseball. Of course, we're heading into into college football weekend. James has been smashing right now in Major League Baseball. 1,853 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs Premium. So tonight, what do you have going on over at the site?
Guys, I got a 3-pack again. 3 in the MLB, 3 plays that I really love. I think we go 3-0 tonight, guys. So jump on that. After we go 3-0, upgrade 3-7. 30-day or even a year, guys. I've been real hot. If you go back, look, from last year, I was number 1 in MLB. Year before that, I was number 1 in college football and NBA. And then last year, I was the number 1 in NFL. And here I am again this year, number 1 in MLB. So, that year pass looks good, guys. Or like I say every time I'm on the show, we got the best cappers in the world, and we do by far. So team me up with any of the cappers you've seen on the show or on the site, and we'll put some money in your pockets.
That's right, guys. Got on board with James Clark over at Pick Dodge Premium. You see the great results, 1,853 units of profit. All document over at Pick Dodge Premium. Last 3 days, 850 units of profit. Some great results here from James on all sports combined. Plays tonight, or of course, you might want to consider the long-term pass the way James is running. Try him out for 30 days. You get the remainder, pretty much most of the remainder of the regular season from Major League Baseball, as well as all his football for 30 days. Good 4 weeks of NFL college football coming at you with that 1-month pass. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion, making it even a greater value there. All right, James, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you on Friday's show, if not sooner.
All righty, Tony. Appreciate you having me on the show. And yes, I do think the Mountaineers cover this weekend. I know they're going into Beaver Stadium, and I know Penn State's supposed to be pretty good this year, but I think our offense hangs with them. And I think we take the L, but I think it's going to be closer than 21 points. I say 15, 18, somewhere around there we get beat by.
All right, then I think we see a total here of 50.5. So if you think they're going to cover, then you're probably looking over, right?
Yes. This year I look for W. I mean, they scored pretty good last year, and their defense, like I said, they can't tackle. So look for a high-scoring game. Both teams putting up a lot of points, and I like the over also.
Yeah, the overs come down, by the way, from a 53 number to 50. So there you go from James. All right, James, have a great night. We'll catch up with you soon.
All right, Tony, appreciate you having me on the show, and let's cash that ticket tonight, guys, and I'll see y'all Friday.
Sorry, Friday. James Clark here on the drive-thru. We're going to call an audible here. Next up is Wayne, but we're going to go to Rod because he got a 6:40 game with this Rays and Marlins game. So we're just going to set it up and just give it to Rod. He'll run with it because we got a game starting here within 5 minutes. So we'll bring in Rod. We're just going to bring up the game for Rod right now. It's the Marlins and the Rays. It's been one-sided over the past several seasons. These teams have been rivals because they're in the state of Florida. They play about 4 times a year. 2 home, 2 away, so these teams know each other pretty well, and it's been all Marlins here, and we got to fix this graphic because we don't have that WNBA tonight. I think we had it correct here on this one. All right, we even lost your sound there. We have everything actually, I got to get the game up there for you. I still have the old game, but anyway,
now we got some
here sound. We go. Rays and Marlins. We got some sounds here from Rod. Rod, what's happening? Let's go with the game.
All right, we can jump right into this game. It starts in like 5 minutes. So you're looking at the Rays and the Marlins here, the Battle of Florida in this one. And the Rays have definitely been dominating this series to kick it off, that's for sure. And I think they got the starter edge as well. You look at Jesus Luzardo, and sure, he's had some good starts this season. He had a great start last time out. But you look at his starts before that, and he struggled a little bit. He gave up like 21 runs over 4 games. Before that, and these Rays bats are just on fire. And you look at the mound for the Rays, you're getting Zach Eflin on the mound, and he's 6-3 with a 2.7 ERA with a 1.04 WHIP in night games. He likes night games. He has pitched his best at home. He's a little higher ERA on the road, but I think he can get the job done here. Marlins without Soler in the lineup, I believe, as well. I think he tweaked something last night, and he'll be sitting in this one. So that bat in the lineup going to be tough for this Marlins team that is only hitting .235 against right-handed pitching over their last 10, which equates to about 3.4 runs per 9. And as I said, these Rays bats bashing the cover off the ball against left-handed pitchers. 336 over the last 10, which equates to about 8.7 runs per 9 innings. Definitely, Marlins have failed to cover the run line in 5 straight versus just failed to cover the run line in 5 straight. Marlins going the wrong direction. Rays starting to turn things on. Also, you look at the Marlins have lost 14 straight night games versus the AL East following a loss. Only one win to go here. Take the Rays for me in this one. If you want, spring a little bit on that run line there at almost plus 146 there. I think they beat up on the Marlins here in this one. I think Jesus gives up a few early here in this one as they just bomb that kind of pitching these Rays have been.
Yeah, they've just been bombing them indeed. And, of course, like we mentioned here in the open, Rays and Marlins are interleague rivals, so they play 4 times a year. They have been playing 4 times a year every year, 2 home and away. So keep an eye on these interleague teams. We do have these interleague rivalries like the Mets, Yankees, the Dodgers, Angels, White Sox, Cubs. They've been playing each other every year, 4 games. So we do have some history between these teams. And history shows here that it's been all Rays, right, winning like 9 of their past 10.
Yeah, 9-1 of the Rays in the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Definitely been dominant. These are like the Battle of Alberta in hockey. These two teams definitely don't like each other, and they put their best foot forward. And the Rays have showed early in the series that they are the better team.
Yep, there's no doubt about that. There we got the Rays here, minus 118 here against the Marlins. Couldn't find peripherals tonight. No WNBA. We got CFL started a couple days.
Yeah, CFL's later this week because of the Labor Day weekend. So, yeah, we've got 2 games on Monday, a couple on the weekend. But we'll definitely we can dive in those and throw some out there on Friday for you, these nice fine folks. So we'll have a few more plays on Friday. Definitely, yeah.
There you go. Throw it out there. No Thursday college football. We'll know tomorrow.
Hey, I'll be around tomorrow. I could probably pop in if you need a fill-in spot.
Right, fill in, maybe. All right.
Find a play tomorrow.
Or in the chat, so we'll see if we get Rod in tomorrow.
Or in the chat, I'll pop in the chat. Yeah.
Either way, he'll be around tomorrow. So we'll get that. Okay, something from Thursday from Rod, if that's the WNBA, some college football. All right, we got the play here from Rod here with the Rays starting in about a minute. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge from tonight. A good start to college football. What do you have going over at the site?
And over at the site tonight, I got 2 plays going. One for long-term subscribers, and one is my 10-star play of the day. It's 52 and 37, the last 89 of those. So jump aboard, $19 gets to my 10-star play of the day, or join me for the rest of this week. The weekend is stacked. I've got 9 plays that I'm going to put in for college football. I love this first week 1 action. We started 2-1 in week 0, so let's continue that win in college football. Love college football. In the couple of years, I believe I'm 172 and 165 over the last 2 seasons. In my first 2 seasons with college football, being from Canada, I haven't done a lot of college football, but definitely been watching it, and I love it. So it kind of reminds me of hockey. It's gritty, young guys kicking butt. I love college football.
That's right, college football guys. So get on board with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dog Prim. Get on board with the plays for tonight, or better yet, get the long-term pass, the 3-7 or 30-day pass, and save that money with the promo code PICK at checkout. All right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you in a couple days.
Definitely. Have yourself a good one, everybody, and we'll catch up with you in a couple days. Good luck with your bets as well, Tony.
You as well. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you miss any picks, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's get to Wayne right now. As we said, we jumped ahead because of Rod's play starting here. So we'll bring in Wayne Scott, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. I think we'll get him here in a second. Ready to roll with Wayne. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Pick Dog family? What's going on, Tony T? Hope you're doing all right today.
Things going great. We're going back to Sweet Science, back in the ring for Saturday's action here. Liam Smith, Chris Eubanks. We see Smith the favorite here, round total 10.5.
Yes, sir, and this is a rematch right here. This might not be known too much in America, but in the United Kingdom, this is a banger right here. We got Chris Eubanks Jr. More famously, his pops is known as Chris Eubanks Sr., one of the top UK fighters ever, known for his fight with Nigel Benn. And they tried to set up the Chris Eubanks Jr. and Conor Benn, but Conor Benn got popped for PEDs. That's where Liam Smith stepped in, and in 2 weeks' notice, he had to fight Chris Eubanks Jr., and he got the win. So now they got a rematch here. I think in the first fight I had Chris Eubanks Jr. as the favorite and lost with that one. He's an underdog here, and I'm going to stay with him here. He's 32-3, 33 years old. He had Roy Jones training him. A little bit about Roy Jones. Roy Jones, as great as he is as a fighter, he's just not a good trainer, man. You can't teach people what you've done. You are one of the most athletic boxers of our time, and it's just hard to teach a UK fighter that style. Now, Chris Eubanks Jr. has Terrence Crawford's trainer, Bomac, and he has a full training camp to prepare for Liam Smith. Liam Smith is a game fighter. This fight isn't for a title shot, but both of these fighters are contenders, and they're a little bit older, coming to the peak of their career. So it's either they win this fight and they get to get a title shot and get that money fight, or they lose this fight and the loser becomes the gatekeeper for this 160 weight division. Liam Smith, he's fought in Canelo, he's fought in Mugia. Liam Smith is one of 4 brother boxers. His brother Caleb Smith is the better fighter of all the brothers, but Liam Smith is a game fighter. And in this first fight, he got the knockout in the 4th round. Surprised the hell out of me. Very strong fighter. But I don't think Chris Eubanks underestimates him no more. I don't think he fights the type of fight that he fought. He kind of underestimated him, went in there, tried to brawl with him. Chris Eubanks is a very slick fighter, good on his feet, good with the jab, good with the combinations. I think Terrence Crawford trainer will get him back to fighting that style, and I think he can win on the cards. And we're getting him at an underdog price, plus 125. I'm riding with that all day, and I'm definitely locking this one in.
All right, there you go. Again, a plus here with Wayne. Chris Eubanks, a plus 125 against Liam Smith. This is part of ESPN Plus cards. So you can watch this one on ESPN Plus, 1:30 Eastern Time. So as far as the weight conditions here, are any fighters having to step up or step down in weight class in this one?
No, sir. They are both at their the weight class that they've been fighting in their whole career. They're at 160. So Canelo has all the belts at 168, and Little Charlo has all the belts at 154. So everybody at 160 tries to build up their name so they can step up and get that big money fight at 168 for Canelo. So I'm pretty sure the winner of this fight, if they can't get a good title shot at 160, they're going to be trying to campaign for a fight against Canelo, try to get that money fight, saying how they beat one of the top guys at 160. So it's not a lot going on at 160. I know Charlo's bigger brother has the WBC belt, but he's got a lot of life problems right now, so there's not a lot going on at 160. This is one of the bigger fights, two of the top contenders at 160, but I think the winner of this fight is going to be trying to clamor around Canelo, waiting to see what Canelo doing, trying to see if Canelo wants to use them as a tune-up and them get a payday after this fight. But as far as the UK goes, I think this is a major fight for them. A lot of people are fans of the Smith brothers, and a lot of people are fans of Chris Eubanks Jr. based off his dad. His dad is a firefighter in the UK. If you haven't seen him, definitely go check out Chris Eubanks Sr. Great fights.
All right, there we go. We get some of these UK fights now. I remember back in the day they were just on Sky Sports, but now with this ESPN Plus, they start to bring them in European for European fights. All right, here we go. Eubanks plus 125 against Liam Smith, 1:30 Eastern Time. You can watch this one on ESPN Plus. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, down to 3 games on the board. Major League Baseball heading into a really good football weekend. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I got one more bet left in baseball. I dropped 2 earlier, so I'm looking to definitely cash this one so I can get a couple of these units back with this win right here. I do have football plays already posted, man. I'm excited about this football weekend. Short MLB card, so I get to study up on some more. Just make sure that I'm teeing off on all my P's and Q's and locked in for this weekend. So you can catch me no more today, but you can catch me with my plays tomorrow. Or you can get ready for this weekend by getting a 3-day, 7-day pass.
That's right, guys. You got over with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dodge. Long-term pass will serve you well. Of course, remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. 7-day pass. Get all the football for this week. Remember, we got football here, college football through Monday through Labor Day. Get all those plays with that 7-day pass. All right, Wayne, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow on that very light card. It's probably our lightest Thursday card in baseball, but we have football tomorrow as well. So we'll have 4 football games. We'll have 3 in the primetime hour. So if not, we'll delve into maybe some other peripherals as well. And Wayne, of course, Wayne, before we go, I think you guys were just finishing up the conversation here. We can look for a boxing video series coming up from you shortly.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be talking with Mitch and trying to whip that up for you, bring you guys some premium content when it comes to this boxing pretty soon. So, guys, stay tuned for that.
That's right, guys. So check it out. Looking at a video preview, I think they were thinking kind of like a rundown style, previewing the big weekend fights coming up. There's so much television coverage now with all these streaming networks. So it hopes to bring the fans back into the sport. I don't think they've ever left it. I just think UFC is really, really drawn in really well. But there's a lot of boxing out there. More boxing than there are mixed martial arts, by the way. If you go look at the world cards out there. And now with all these streaming services, Top Rank, ESPN Plus, Paramount, CBS likes to get in there as well. We know ESPN likes to throw in some fights, as we see there. So Fox is definitely in there. Fox Deportes. There's a lot going on all over the world, and Wayne will be on top of it with his boxing rundown. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try to bring you guys some FIBA tomorrow. So I know there's not a lot left, so I'm going to definitely be looking up this FIBA tonight so I can find some fire for us to win tomorrow.
You got it. FIBA basketball from Wayne tomorrow. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again on tomorrow's show.
Appreciate you, Tony. Y'all take care, Pick Dog fam.
You got Wayne Scott here on the drive through. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Dana Lane up next. Some baseball cover from Dana. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. Put up some fantastic numbers over on the site. So we'll get Dana in here in just a second. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We're ready to roll with Dana. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, Tony?
Everything's going great. All right, here we go. Baseball tonight. We see this. Look at this total in this game. Braves and Rockies going head-to-head here at 8:40 Eastern Time. We see the Braves' favorite total now up to 13.5 in this one.
Yeah, we're certainly going to stay away from that. But there are a lot of angles in this game that I really like. And certainly this is the time of year. If you love baseball, there's a lot going on. Of course, this series is finishing up tonight. And depending on what happens, the Dodgers could be within 3 games of the Atlanta Braves with a big 4-game series coming up this weekend, which is going to be probably a preview somewhere in the postseason for sure. And of course, home field advantage is extremely important. So I really like the fact that I don't think we're going to get the Dodgers looking ahead at that series or anything like that. Every game means something. At this point, of course, their divisions are all about wrapped up, but head-to-head, every game means something. And I really, obviously, we don't want to lay the money line on this. That's way too much. But I do love laying the 1.5 in this situation, even if it's $1.60, $1.65. That's still okay, especially when we're talking about a free pick. But we know that the Braves have absolutely owned Colorado. They've owned them not only this year, they've won six games against them this year, 8 straight, 12 of the last 13. They've absolutely annihilated Colorado. So who's going to win to me is not that big of a difference, big of a handicap. But I love this scenario when you're getting great teams against poor teams, laying the 1.5, even if you have to lay a little bit of the juice. And over the last 2 seasons, when Atlanta's in this spot, they're 54-39. On the road, they're 27-16 in this spot. Only the Orioles are better using those filters. So I really feel confident with the Braves. And you get some guys around the book today saying, "Well, who's this Darius Vines kid?" And well, I tell you who is Darius Vines, and he's had an incredible journey. Had a little bit of a shoulder problem. It's not his first run through the minor leagues. Was there last year, but within a 2-month period of time, Tony, he's gone from pitching in rookie ball, got thrown up to high A ball, then he went up to Gwinnett in AAA baseball, and then originally Snicker was going to bring him in to kind of be a depth guy in the bullpen, and he's like, "Hey, what the heck? Let's throw him on the mound against Colorado and see what we have." And I love this scenario because when you're talking about organizations like the Atlanta Braves and the Dodgers, and even the Red Sox have been very good at this through the years. They're not just bringing guys in that aren't ready. This isn't like the Pittsburgh Pirates where they're throwing guys out there just to see what they have. They can afford to take their time with kids like this, and we're going to see tonight, I believe, a fantastic effort. And, of course, the number, Tony, went exactly the way we thought it was going to go. Kyle Freeland, ever since the World Baseball Classic, everybody's been excited about putting their money behind Freeland, especially getting big plus money. But the reality is Kyle Freeland has not pitched that well this whole season. He's been inconsistent of late at best. And I just don't see this, even though the names say maybe put your money behind Kyle Freeland, I just don't see where I can put my money behind Colorado against Atlanta in any situation. So we're going to go Atlanta minus the 1.5. We're going to give up a little bit of a juice, but they're certainly the better team, and I think Vines is going to be fantastic tonight.
There you go. The total probably tells you something here. 13.5, looking for a big offensive performance here by the Braves. Lay the 1.5 minus 158 against the Rockies. You get the 9 at bats here for the Braves. Of course, Freeland has been struggling. The Rockies bullpen has been just getting, and this is the time of the year. It's been when it starts. We start to see it here, right? A full season in Colorado, pretty much 1 month left in the season. Over their past 10, the Rockies bullpen sitting with an ERA about 9 right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrific. And yeah, the total does tell you something. I mean, it tells me the Braves are going to absolutely annihilate them, and it's going to be probably a double-digit run production, and probably Colorado will be around the 4 or 5 run mark. Incidentally, they only put up 3.8 runs a game for Kyle Freeland have not been in his last 10 decisions. They've lost 9 of them. I mean, there's just nothing that makes me want to back Colorado. And it's really sad because, I say all the time about organizations wanting to spend money or not spending money to win. And Colorado actually spent money this offseason to try to win. And just injuries have absolutely decimated this club. Not having Chris Bryant in the lineup is just, it's a killer for them. And they've been one of those teams of just waiting for the end of the season. But this is going to be, I think this is going to be over quick tonight.
Yeah, it looks like a rout here. Braves here, run line -1.5, -158 here against the Rockies. Dana, of course, UNLV in action, but it looks like FCS opponent, right? Is it Southern Utah they're facing?
Bryant's
all right.
Bryant University, yeah. I mean, it's the game before Michigan. You don't overlook any game because we remember 3 years ago they lost as a 38-point underdog, number that was probably a little bit too high. But, you can't look at any opponent. And, of course, we want to see how Doug Brumfield performs. They are a much different team when Brumfield is behind center. So look for a big day from him. Practice-wise, the word coming out of UNLV is, hey, look, this is the first year under Barry Odom, who, of course, was at Arkansas. And a lot of guys that were with Barry Odom, Jackson Woodard, who was a transfer linebacker, said, hey, look, this feels like an SEC practice. Now, those sort of things come out to begin the year, those sort of statements. You want to say, great things about practice. But from what I hear, it's been very physical. It's been very mentally draining. And I really like where this program is going. But like we said in previous videos, there is no excuses anymore. There should be zero apathy. There should be zero, it's okay. UNLV football used to be something that kind of filled the time before basketball started. There's no reason to have that anymore. They have tremendous facilities. They play in with probably arguably I don't even know if it's arguably the best stadium in the Mountain West Conference. Maybe not atmosphere, but certainly stadium with. And they have everything at their fingertips to be successful. It's time to be successful. Not saying beat Michigan, but play well against Michigan. Certainly play well against Vanderbilt the week after that. And you must annihilate a team like Bryant. And I would suspect they would do that Saturday.
Heck, that stadium's better than any in the Pac-12. They need the best stadium out west. Here we go, Rockies.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just a matter of how you measure. Stadium-wise, there's no doubt about it. As far as atmosphere, that's debatable.
That's up to the student body and the boosters that get the interest up, and the team to win. Braves here, run line from Dana. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at pick.com for tonight's action. Dana's been on fire here. 710 units of profit last 30 days. We're heading into a big football weekend. What do you have going on over at Pick.Docs Premium?
The football games will be up. Thursday games will be up tonight. I'm trying to get those football games up tonight as well. No baseball today, but I do appreciate the people that have gotten involved with my 3-game pack, which has been really successful and very popular, so I appreciate that. But big football weekend, and it is knee-deep, and I'm going to send my wife and kids a I'm sorry note, and I'll see them in June, I guess, when the NBA's over and the NHL's over.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Dana Lane over at Pick.com. Great results over the past 30 days from Dana. So get on board with the long-term passes. You want to get covered the football? We'll get the 7-day pass. That'll cover you through Labor Day, right? Through Tuesday. That's all the football. College football goes through Labor Day this week, as well as all the baseball as well. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off at checkout at that second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there, right? Dana, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All the best to you, Tony. Let's win some money this weekend.
Absolutely. Dana Lane here on the Drive-Thru. Guys, if you missed any picks, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the Drive-Thru. We'll put up my game right now, and then we'll get to the recap here. So let me get the game ready for you. We're going late night action tonight out west here as this Dodgers and D-backs are getting head-to-head. And let's see here. Here we go. All right. So let me get to my game card here. We got the game ready to roll here. And we'll be looking at a total between this Dodgers and Diamondbacks game tonight. And, of course, I'll be chasing the number here because it opened at 10. It's been down 9.5. You can still find some 9.5 in this one in some places here. But we'll be 9.5. I'm seeing 9.5s Let's see. Last time I checked, it was 9.5. Yeah, still a lot of nine. Still some 9.5s out there in the marketplace. Let me double check this here really quick. Oh, let me shade it here. Yeah, I still see some 9.5s in some of the books in Vegas. I'm seeing 9s primarily now. Let me get this cursor right here. Let me see here. 9s. Yep, the 9s are coming in everywhere now, pretty much. So this is going to have to be adjusted, graded on 9 now, because the 9.5s are pretty much vanished. The 10s have been vanished since the overnight line 10 was vanished this morning. There's still some 9.5s out in Vegas, though. They're still holding at 9.5. The sharpest book in Vegas is showing 9.5. A lot of sharp books in Vegas showing the 9.5s. They haven't came down to that 9. So still do your line shopping, get the best numbers here. Pepiet has put up some respectable numbers as we talked about. But there's one thing here I think that is pushing those numbers has been the form of Brandon Pfaadt. Maybe people watched his videos of his past 2 starts. He looks pretty sharp up there on the mound. I know everybody's looking at the season numbers, but I usually like to take a snapshot of these pitchers' performance, and I look over the past 3, even the past 2 starts. Pepiet's allowed past 2 starts. He's allowed 2 earned runs with 6 hits, 11 strikeouts in 9 innings of work. That is Pepiet for the year. But looking here at the rookie Pfaadt, Pfaadt has came in here his past 2 starts. He's allowed two earned runs in 12 1/3 innings, and that's something to keep an eye on there with Pfaadt. Again, he's looked great in those starts. And also, too, the Diamondbacks are 22-10 to the under in his past 32 games against winning teams. That's the Diamondbacks 22-10 to the under. And also, Pfaadt, whip on the road is just .96. So that's something to keep an eye on. Dodgers pitching has been well. We're probably going to see a lot of bullpen tonight. They're at home, so we'll go under 9.5 in this one between the D-backs and Dodgers. This one to have a start time here of 10 p.m. Eastern time. I got a best bet on the board for Major League Baseball, or you can go with my long-term passes right now over at Pick Dodgers Premium. My 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Got all my premium plays for that time period to select. When you go over to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. That will save you that 15% off. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. It is now time to recap the plays from today's show. Chris joined us with Rangers -152 against the Mets. Mitch says Wyoming, Texas Tech under 51 now. That number's been coming down. You're also seeing some 50.5s out there, so shop get the best number. James, Dodgers run line, lay the run half +110 against the D-backs. Wayne was on the Eubanks here, +125 against Lee and Smith. Rod like the Rays, -118 against Marlins. Dana here, Braves run line, lay the run half, -158 against the Rockies. I'll be on the D-backs, Dodgers under 9.5. And I'll agree with Mitch here on that under with Wyoming and Texas Tech. Peasley has not been a very accurate quarterback. You go look at his past 3 years, can barely complete half his passes, and we're seeing some better defense from Wyoming. So we'll look here. I agree there with Mitch on that under 51 in that one. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. I think we got some scores here we'll get you guys caught up with here, and then we'll let you guys go here. So we got to start here with the White Sox. The Orioles get it done here. No, they don't. The White Sox get it done 10-5 on the road here. They cover the that 8.5 total there by themselves here. 10-5 White Sox over the Orioles as the dog today. Angels come in as a dog and they win 10-8 against the Phillies. The total goes over 9 as well. Padres and Cardinals. Cardinals get the win here 5-4. Short dogs in this game pushing the total of 9. And we've got next up here, we have Brewers and Cubs. Cubs with the win 3-2 final. This one goes under 7. Cubs were the dog at +106. Well, you can't win all the time. And if you win half the time with the Nationals as a +$2 favorite, you're still way ahead. And that's pretty much what they've done when they've been dogs about +150 or higher. They've won about half those games over the past 3 seasons, past 2 seasons, and you'd be way up. I think it's over 20 and 25 units. But they don't get it done today. So it's 7-0. The Jays win it. The game stays under 9. Reds and Giants. Reds get the win 4-1. Giants are big favorites in that game. Game stays under. Astros 7-4, top of the ninth. This one's still in progress. Astros were favored -130. Total's already gone over 10. Athletics and Mariners. Mariners come back, get the win. A little flat in this day game, but they got some runs late to get the win 5-4. Game goes just over 8.5 runs. And these teams have been trending head-to-head under, by the way, with these teams. All right, next up, Rangers and Mets. The Mets have pushed across a run. Now 2 runs they've pushed across. We should see that score update now. 2-0 now. The Mets leading the Texas Rangers as they have just up. You see just a home run right now. Looks like here for New York. So up 2-0. They were big dogs at +150. The Rangers were. It looks like Stewart gets the home run for the Mets and up 2-0 here. Still bottom second. Dunny on the mound. maybe that road form the past 3 or 4 seasons coming back to haunt him here, but that's one of the reasons why he started in the bullpen this year, is he just can't get the job done on the road. But this year's have been a little different. Rays and Marlins are scoreless, bottom of the second. And Yankees have pushed 2 across. White's been a little wild there, hitting batters, and it was an ugly first inning. But bottom first now, Tigers up to the plate. Now Tigers out. So strikeout here by Garrett Cole. So we now go to the top of the second here with the Yankees holding that 2-0 lead. And of course, that takes us into the late evening action here with the Pirates and Royals. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive Thru, guys. Make sure you guys tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place to cover their place for in real time. Remember, it always gets started with that morning show here, live here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. You got Mitch, you got Chris, of course, you got Jay with that morning show. Lots of video series here as well with Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools show. We also have Chris with his home run prop video as well. Ron Romanelli with his Major League Baseball rundown. Of course, we've got the Jays NFL next week with his NFL rundown coming up, and a lot more. No Nick Micken, your fees. We got Brad Francis with his parlay videos, Mills with his UFC rundown, as well as his parlay video of the day for you guys here. Prop videos from him as well. So great work there, no doubt about that. Let's see here. All right, that will roll here. I think we got that one set up already here. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive Thru. Again, I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. James S. in there, Rod in there as well, Jamail in the chat, Mary Nichols, Theo Green paid a visit as well. Nick Beast Vegas, got Mills in there as well. We got Clyde Drexler in there as well. Appreciate everybody in the chat room with their contributions for today's show. All right, Mr. Morber as well, and OC Dreamweaver in there, E10 Spooky as well. That's going to do it for our show. Let's bring in our crew from tonight. Anyway, goodbye, guys. You guys